welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to be doing an updated breast augmentation video. This is surprisingly a popular question that I get quite often, especially because the last breast augmentation video I did was when my breast aug was about a year old. I already had Luke, and now these breasts went through a pregnancy and also breastfeeding. So I just wanted to talk about how they look so far, how they feel, and all that jazz. So let's carry on. Side note, but my ring light is currently breaking, so this video is probably pretty crooked, so sorry about that. It was really hard to make it straight. So the most popular question I got, there were probably 3 of the top most popular questions. So the first one was, what were the CCs you got? And again, almost all of these questions are in the last video. So if you guys want to check that out, you guys definitely can. I will put the link below. So the CCs. So the CCs that I got, this one is 485 CCs and this one is 520. People always ask, why did you get different CCs? Simply because one boob was bigger than the other. So that's why I did different CCs. However, keep in mind that 520 and 485 for the company that I got were the closest in size to each other. So even though it's a pretty big difference that you would think, it really is a really minimal difference. So whenever people think, oh my gosh, should I go 450 or should I go 500 with my CCs? Trust me when I say it's not that big of a difference, so might as well go bigger. At least that's the advice I give. So 485 and 520 cc's, the profile I got was moderate. They are silicone implants. So that is something that I have said quite a few times, so I'll say it one more time. Okay, the cup size that I am now and the cup size that I was before. So the cup size I was before, Victoria's Secret would always size me like a B. However, I'll be honest, I probably was an A, closer to that, like probably a 34A. Now I would say I'm closer to like a double D. I haven't gotten measured ever since getting my breasts done, and to be honest, I haven't bought a bra except this bra that I'm wearing now. I bought this bra from Nordstrom Rack about a month ago actually, and I swear to you, the first time I washed it, the clasp broke. So now I only have 1 clasp instead of 2 clasps. So that made me laugh because that was finally the first bra I bought and it broke. Okay, so I think I started out like a full A and now I'm probably like a double D, maybe even a little bit bigger to be perfectly honest. So let's see, the pain level, overall recovery for my breast aug. So I actually had a really easy recovery. I wasn't really worried about it because I was working in plastic surgery. So I was really familiar with seeing post-op patients. I know how some people do really well with their recovery like I did, and some people don't. And it's so different for everyone, so don't expect one or the other. I will say that going into it, I really wasn't worried, and getting out of it, I really wasn't worried either. I'm pretty sure I went back to work the next day. Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure I did. So it really wasn't bad. Luke was 11 months old or 11 or 13 months old when I got my breast aug, and honestly, I carried him pretty much like right after. I don't know if that's recommended at all. Actually, it is not recommended to hold heavy things. However, I did it, I was fine. I'm not recommending anyone else to do it. However, I did it. Do as I say, not as I do. That's what people like to say to me. Cost, so the average cost for a breast augmentation, I did mine in Orange County, is typically anywhere between, I would say, $6,500 to $10,000. It can definitely range based on the doctor you go to. However, for my breast, it would be around $7,500. On that note too, one of the top most popular questions I got was, who was your doctor? I mentioned this in the other video. My doctor was Dr. Peter Nguyen, N-E-W-E-N. He is based in Orange County. He has an office in Huntington Beach and Irvine. So he's really good at breasts. I can honestly say he does a lot of breasts. I used to work there, and so I saw so many post-op patients, and I gave a lot of guidance for, you know, people that were worried about size, things like that. And I can tell you he is great at breast augmentation, so I definitely do recommend him. Let's see, somebody asked if my breasts are identical twins. As you can see, even in this top, they are not. This is the breast I did the smaller implant in, the 485, and this one is still a little bit bigger because keep in mind that this breast was bigger, which is why I did the smaller implant. So breasts will never be identical twins. Just like your face is so asymmetrical, at least mine is, breasts will never be identical twins. They will be like cousins, I like to say. Sometimes sisters, sometimes cousins. So they're never gonna be perfectly symmetrical. It's just part of our natural anatomy. Let's see. Did you go under or over the muscle? I went under the muscle. I recommend it personally. So I know the doctor that I went to, Dr. Peter Nguyen, pretty much only does underneath the muscle. Can I still breastfeed? This was definitely a really popular question. Yes, you definitely can. I had no issues breastfeeding Noah. I got them done after delivering Luke. However, before getting pregnant with Noah, and I can tell you that during my pregnancy, my breasts got huge. And after I gave birth, they were massive. However, I had absolutely no problem producing milk. I had no problem breastfeeding. Noah had no problem like getting any milk or anything like that. It was kind of crazy though, because there were times when Noah was first born that my boob was bigger than his head. And that's just because they were just so big, because they had a lot of milk and they were just big. So they were big. But yes, I did them after having Noah, and I can tell you I had absolutely no issues breastfeeding. I think a lot of people have this misconception that you cannot breastfeed after getting implants, and you can. So, And expectation versus reality for pain. So I kind of touched on that already. I wasn't really worried about the pain, and honestly, it was pretty straightforward for me. Again, that is not everyone's experience. Other people have really, really difficult recoveries, but the most people, I would say, they go back to work usually like a week later. It's not terrible for most people, so that's what I will say, just based on my experience as working in plastic surgery. How long have I had them? So I've had these boobs for about 3 years now. I thought it was 4, but about 3.5 years, and I love them. So they've gone through, again, this is a really repetitive video, so I'm sorry, but they've gone through pregnancy, they've gone through breastfeeding, they've gone through postpartum weight loss, gain, all of that, and I love them. So I do feel like they look a little bit more natural now. They sit a little bit lower, and that's just simply because, again, they were so big and swollen, and then they got smaller, so that just happens. I did also have stretch marks after giving birth, but they went away, so I'm not too worried about that. Let's see. Where is the scar? So my scar is underneath the nipple. I like that area. I picked that area. That's the area that typically Dr. Peter Nguyen typically goes under. However, there are also ways of going around the areola. You can also go through the armpit, really old school, but you can also go through the belly button as well. That's only for saline. However, I like to go underneath the incision, the reason being, and underneath the breast, and the reason being is you can always recut that area. Whereas other areas, such as the nipple, you can't always constantly keep recutting. So if you want to get another breast augmentation 10, 20 years down the road, you can still go underneath. However, if you went through, like, say, the armpit or something like that, chances are they're going to make another incision for you. So again, that's just from my experience. So I have no issue with that. My scar is really hard to see. So let's see. Difference with breastfeeding with implants and without. Breastfeeding was pretty straightforward for both. In all honesty, it was a lot easier with Noah. I think it wasn't because of my implants or anything. I think it was just simply because, one, I was home all the time with Noah when he was an infant because of COVID and because I wasn't working. And two, simply because I knew what to do. So the milk production, I had more with Noah, but also I was feeding him a lot more on demand. So I think that was the major differences with feeding Noah versus feeding Luke. Let's see, bra recommendation. So this one, I'm not gonna show you guys, but it is Calvin Klein. Again, Nordstrom Rack. I got it on sale for about $10. I do recommend them. However, I will say that any bra really works. My bra has no underwire and it has no padding. So, but really you can get any bra. I don't really wear bras ever, so I don't really like bras. I feel like they're a little bit confining. I don't really need a bra, so it's always up to you. However, during work and stuff, I usually just wear like a cheap little bralette or something like that. Is it harder to work out? It is harder to, I think, do sit-ups. I never was good at sit-ups before, and now I'm really bad at them. However, I will say that in terms of like doing ab workouts, running, things like that, I don't really do any of that, so I can't really tell you. However, push-ups, I do know it's really hard for me to do now. But I do know a lot of people that have breast augs and they have no issues working out. I know a lot of workout instructors that get breast augmentations. So I can tell you that usually it doesn't really impair working out. However, typically doctors do recommend waiting about 6 to 8 weeks before starting to resume working out after your breast augmentation. Okay, last question, is it heavy or uncomfortable? No, it honestly is pretty light. I don't really ever have any back discomfort or any discomfort in general. So I don't. So that's pretty much it. That was my video for my breast augmentation update. I hope you guys liked it. It was, again, really repetitive, so I'm sorry about that. However, I'll link all the information down below that I talked about. I'll also link my last video, which I think I talked more in detail. So if you guys have any questions or anything like that, feel free to comment below. And yeah, so thank you guys for watching and have a great day. Bye.